What's up, guys? My name is Kelly Iyett. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is actually my first official video on my channel. I'm so excited to let you guys know that my brand new book has just come out. It's called I Am Kelphaba. It's available on Amazon.com and softcover, hardcover. You guys can click on the link in my bio so you can get your very own copy of this book. On this channel, we're actually going to be going through this book chapter by chapter. I'm going to give you additional insights, more stories, more information, things that I didn't include in the book. I'm going to be sharing right here on this channel with you. But before we jump in and we start talking about the book, let's talk about why did I write this book? What's the point of this book? What's it all about? And why are you green? Let's go ahead and jump in. So since I was a little girl, I have loved to write. I had a book that I got from my grandma. It was a book of poetry that I got when I was really, really young. It was one of my favorite books. My favorite poem in the book was this poem called Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod. It was so creative and imaginative. I just loved it. And I started writing my own poetry. I started trying to figure out, how do you make words rhyme? How do you string words together to create a poem? Throughout my years, I would, write short stories, and I was in creative writing classes. I would blog. I'm a classic millennial, so I was on Tumblr and I was on Zanga.com. I loved blogging. I loved writing. It was a really cool way for me to emote. I was not great at verbally processing my emotions, and so words and writing was a really cool way for me to really process what I was thinking and what I was navigating. It helped me become more self-aware. It helped me to release things and let things go. I have journals and journals just filled with pages of writing and prayers, and just things that I've navigated throughout my life. And about 5 years ago, I had some encouragement, some friends that said, you should put your writing out there more for people to see and interact with. And so I started this Instagram channel about 5 years ago. And I started posting on there, and it was really cool to see how quickly people really did say, hey, thank you so much for sharing that. That was really vulnerable. Or I have experienced the same thing. Or I'm actually going through that right now. Like, your words really encouraged me or really challenged me. And as much as it is for others to share with them, it's also been a really cool way for me to exercise, like I said, self-awareness. It's helped challenge my own thoughts and my own thinking, and the places where I've gotten stuck, and even recognize the places where I'm actually doing an okay job and I'm doing all right. And so I love words. I love writing. This is not my first book. I've actually written 2 other books, but this book in particular really came from the pages of my journals over this last year. I've been working in vocational ministry for 15 years, and when I got to January of 2025, I had a sense that something was changing. And by March of 2025, I knew that my time in vocational ministry was coming to an end. And so from March to September of 2025, I journaled. I journaled a lot. And I started to realize, man, these journal pages, there's more here than I can put on Instagram. I think this might be a book. And so I started writing a book specifically about the last 3 years of my life. And then I realized, we need more context. We need more stories. And so I Am Kelphaba is actually a story. It's a memoir about the last 15 years of my life. Specifically 15 years that I've been in vocational ministry. The book starts in 2010, right before I step into ministry, at a time where I had just graduated from college. I didn't know what my career would look like or my future would look like. And I took this job at my church. And so I talk about the 15 years I worked in ministry and the successes and the failures, the lessons learned, the friendships built. I met my husband there. And so I share about all of this in the book. And I'm green on the cover because if you're a fan of Wicked at all, Wicked is a musical that is very near and dear to my heart. One, because I love musical theater. We'll talk about that more in the next video. But there's something really specific about the character of Elphaba and her story arc that I really resonate with, as I'm sure many of you do. I don't think I'm unique to my love of defying gravity. But I'm going to talk a lot about why Wicked is meaningful. A lot of the language in this book is a bit Wicked inspired. I'm actually green. This is not a photoshopped image. I dressed up as Elphaba last year for Halloween. And there were a couple other times I also dressed up as Elphaba, but her story is super meaningful to me. And you'll see that throughout the book as well. In addition to specifically my journey navigating the villain of insecurity. Insecurity for me started as a really young girl, and it plagued my life for a really long time. Even till today, it's something that I'm working on navigating and overcoming. So I talk a lot about how 15 years in ministry really showed me how to get on the other side of insecurity and what that looked like and what it took to get there. So I'm really excited to walk through this with you guys. Don't forget, if you want to follow along with the book, grab I Am Kelphaba on Amazon. It's available now. You can click the link in my bio and get your copy. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you'll get it in just a couple days, just in time for the next video. Thanks so much for joining me on this channel. Again, I'm Kelly. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.